Hey, what's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live stream vid. Alrighty, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. So I wanted to give my thoughts on the final presser for Fury and Wilder 3, and I also wanted to address the ticket sale situation, why it's doing so poorly from the looks of it, and we got to admit that. And I also want to give my thoughts on the the Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos situation. That Triller fiasco, a disaster that is, whatnot. So let me start with the Teofimo Lopez and the George Kambosos disaster by Triller. It seems like Triller has defaulted on the fight, which means they don't have the the required monetary funds to put the event together. Where from the grapevine is that they've lost money in marketing the fight more so than they spent more money on marketing the fight than the purse bid they put up them that they put up to win the rights to stage the fight. So now, given the fact that Triller has defaulted, the IBF has awarded the fight to Matchroom because Matchroom came in second to Triller as far as the purse bid was concerned. So Eddie Hearn will be staging the event, which is definitely the right thing to do because Eddie obviously is knows what he's doing. Ryan Kavanaugh, I know he's a financier. His bread and butter and his expertise is in film production and financing in that area. But as far as Trill is concerned in boxing, I'm not sure who his advisors is or who he has leading the who's leading the management team as far as putting these events together. I think they need to restructure because I mean, yes, they're writing off the success of their first event with Tyson versus Jones exhibition bout, but after that, things just been a clusterfuck with Triller. So I'm just keeping it real. They definitely need some restructuring, whatnot. So give me a second, guys. I just got a letter here from something. Give me a minute. All right, I'll address that later. Work related stuff, guys. But anyways, so it's definitely a disaster. Trilla poorly handled the situation. The fight was pushed back so many freaking times. It's ridiculous. I think it's been pushed back like what 3 times over the course of 6 months or 7 months. I think more than that, probably. I think a little bit, almost a year now since that fight's been pushed back. Well, actually, earlier this year. So it's been pushed back for the last 6, 7 months now. So yeah, it's right that Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, go ahead and have the reins over the event. They can stage it properly and get these fighters paid and get this fight over with. Because Teofimo has lost so many months in time of his prime over this whole situation with Triller, how they've handled it. So yeah. Anyhow, that's I'm glad that situation is settled to some extent. Um, Now let's move it on to the Fury and Wilder 3 presser. Definitely, they didn't allow too many people in because of COVID restrictions. And I see Frank Warren was there in attendance for the presser, whatnot, along with Wilder's management team and along with Bob Arum, Shelly Finkel, JD's, all those guys, yada yada yada. And Kate Abdu, who's the commentator and host for many various programs on Fox Sports. She was there to mediate or moderate the event. What up, Terrence? So it started off cordially, with Kate asking both Wilder and Fury individual questions. For the first time, Deontay Wilder actually spoke. So he actually spoke at the event. So that's good. That's refreshing to hear because my thoughts was, is he going to remain quiet? I guess that wouldn't have been no surprise if he did. But he did speak and he did answer the questions to the best of his ability. And one thing I have to say, though, I have criticized Wilder for his line of questioning in certain interviews because he always speaks in third person. And to be fair, I know the reason why he does that because he's a spoken word guy. and he's done that in the past before he became a fighter. That's what people don't know, and that's something I've heard. I think he was a spoken word artist. I have to go back and check. I don't want to give out false information here. Let me check. Deontay Wilder's spoken word. Um, let me see. Um, yeah, he's actually a spoken word artist in the past. That's why he keeps speaking in third person. And what's frustrating about that is that he does that in every single interview. And I just say, come on, man, step back a little bit and stop speaking in third person. There's always a time and place you can do that to certain, to certain people, or to a certain interview segment or setting. But in this situation, yeah, I mean, he did kind of blend in the third person speaking along with answering the questions directly the best way he can. So I give him some props for that. And then, Tyson Fury, the press conference at the end got a little bit tasty. It got heated. Tyson Fury is the one who provoked it, as always, because he wanted to get a reaction from Wilder. And Wilder did react it, and I thought, oh, no, man, Deontay, you shouldn't even react it. You should pretend the guy's not there. But he reacted, but I have to say one thing. He actually reacted in a way that really got Tyson Fury rattled and heated because Tyson Fury was trying to, try to lure him into the trap of, okay, all these allegations about me, which they finally addressed face to face. All these allegations you made about me being cheated, this, that, and the third. Why are you acting a bitch about it? Why, you can't prove that I did this, that, and the third. And then Wilder responded to that and said, well, you never denied the accusations. He's like, well, you still could, then Fury really got heated when Wilder answered in a cordial manner. So that was very surprising too. And Wilder said, hey, look, it looks like you got nervous energy. And when Wilder said that he had nervous energy, then Fury really got heated. I think that's the first time in a long time that I've seen, well, not saying the first time. I think that's the first time in a long, long, long time that I've seen Tyson Fury get riled up like that. I think the last time he got riled up like that was in a press conference with Vladimir Klitschko. I think that was the first fight. But for the most part, I think that was the first presser they had or the second one. But anyhow, besides that, the whole point is that Fury actually won the mind game situation over Klitschko. But in this particular situation, I hate to say it, Wilder actually got an in over Fury on this one, man. He got in on him this one. He got Fury very riled up and angry, man. And Wilder's like, looks like you got nervous energy, bro. And Wilder told him, was like, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. And he was like, you still couldn't knock me out all the tactics that you used against me. You still couldn't knock me out, which is true. But Fury did stop him. You still couldn't knock me out. He said, look, if I wanted to quit against you, if I didn't want to get back in the fire with you, I could have gone back to my corner and said, I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore. But I chose to go back out there. Why? Because I'm a warrior. And when I tell my kids every day when I tuck them to bed that daddy's got a very dangerous job that can prove to be very lethal for me, I'm doing this for them, bro. I'm good. I'm happy. Okay. What do you have? I love what I do. Okay. And it seems like you got a lot of nervous energy going. And I mean, I think that was the best response that Wilder ever had against Fury. The best response he ever had. And then Kate Abdul was like, okay, guys, we got to stop this now. We got to have a face off. And then Bob Arum jumped up and was yelling at Kate Abdul and said, no, we're not doing no face off. Forget that. We're done. And then Bob Arum's going off on, talking to the rest of the media, going off like Kate Abdul. Like, she's so fucking stupid. Because first of all, Fox is the one that put up the event. She is so inept, has no experience how to control these things. Bob Arum was going off on Kate Abdul. It was funny too. He went off on Mike Coppinger. That was funny. And he told Mike Coppinger, when Mike Coppinger asked him the question, I forgot what was the line of questioning. Bob Arum just turned over to Mike Coppinger. He's like, shut the fuck up, you little punk. Get him out of here. And, I guess because Mike Coppinger, some people accuse him of being a shield of a matchroom, when it comes to Eddie Hearn and his access to Eddie Hearn with the information he gets from him. And to be fair, Mike Coppinger hasn't been, he has put out stuff that hasn't been favoring Top Rank over the last year or two. So, yeah, I can see why Bob was very, very rattled by the line of questioning that Mike Coppinger proposed to him. But anyhow, that was a very interesting presser. And again, it did seem to me that Fury seemed a little bit rattled, and there was some bit of negative, nervous vibe from him. That's unusual that I get from a guy like Tyson Fury. Something didn't seem to be right. All right, EJ, I'll drop a link. Give me a minute. So yeah, that did seem a bit weird. The behavior Fury had at that presser, man. Wilder was calm. He was calm. He addressed him cordially. He didn't get rattled like he's done in previous pressers in the first two fights. And I have to admit, Wilder really got lost in mind game in those situations, those two fights for those pressers. But in this situation, this is the first time I've ever seen Fury get riled up like that. And to me, Wilder won him, got over on him on that. I think Fury knows that too, and he didn't like that. So let's see here. Terrence says that Wilder did get Fury riled up in my opinion, but Fury did get him to open up at the end, but backfired in my opinion. Yeah, that's what it was. I think he was trying to get him to backfire over the allegations, and Wilder's responded saying, "Well, you never denied the allegations," which is true. Fury's never denied it at all. Never denied it, which I've said many times. If this was to be fair, and I said, look, I think Wilder, what he's saying is ridiculous, but in the same time, why hasn't Fury's team ever pursued any libel situation against Wilder for putting these accusations out? Why? I thought that was equally strange. Yeah, see, Terrence says, yeah, Bob wished they'd put Christina Pontier up there. That's all. But I thought Kate was all right. She tends to command respect. Yeah, Kate did a good job. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong of why Bob Arum got mad at Kate Abdu. I don't get it. I don't know why he was pissed off about it. She did the best she could to control the situation. She did moderate it quarterly, and then you expect things like that when two fighters go at it. So there's nothing surprising. And the reason why Bob Arum didn't want the face off, he said, "Look, those guys are angry. They were going to punch each other, so I couldn't risk that." So okay, fair enough. But all right, it is what it is. EJ says that yesterday's press conference there was some crazy things that happened, and when I asked Deontay Wilder about Malik Scott, little I know I was media guys. They wouldn't let me get the mic again, so a bunch of jerk ass wankers. I was going to ask Tyson about Sugar Hill, and when Sugar Hill came on the scene, I didn't know he was and neither did. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll get you on so you can further elaborate on that. What up, Amir? 90% of my friends, boxing friends, and my boxing friend people are in Philly and other. And places I didn't know about him, I was in, and gyms. Nobody knew who I was. Someone told me he was Emmanuel Stewart's nephew or something like that. Oh, okay. You're talking about the first time you met Emmanuel Sugar Hill. You wouldn't think he was a nephew of the late great Emmanuel Stewart. So I get it. All right, let me go ahead and drop the link real quickly. So anybody want to jump in, they can jump in. We can briefly discuss this. I know EJ's got a lot to say. I'm not sure if he saw the presser. There it is, guys. Go ahead and drop the link. Go ahead and click in. But so yeah, that was interesting presser. And what's up, big boys? He says, yeah, Kaya Ora team. Hope everybody's well. Yeah, man, everything's good. Kia Ora. Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. But that presser was very interesting. And again, that's the first time I've ever seen Deontay Wilder get over Tyson Fury mentally. And you can never get over out talk Tyson Fury, but Deontay Wilder did that. I'm like, I was surprised. I was like, whoa. Yeah, what up, EJ?
Yeah, what's going on, Dan? That was Tim Witherspoon. I'm reading it 12 hours ago. He's pissed off about how he got treated at the presser. And like you said, you told me he asked the question, and they wouldn't give him back the mic, and he's from Philly. He's upset. So hopefully I can get an interview with
okay. So these are his quotes. Okay, and he was mad about the Sugar Hill situation too.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. He just feel like disrespected. You know what I mean? He felt disrespected. And the funny thing is, I was trying to get interview him like a week before. I didn't know he was going to cover the presser, but he just felt disrespected. The former heavyweight champion, and he wants to know how you gonna fight about your trainer. But he seemed like he's in team. He seemed like he's team Fury. So let's talk back to the presser. I thought Wilder handled himself well.
Yeah,
good. He's so calm. I was like, I told you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Fury looked rattled, man. He looked rattled.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's the thing I got. And I like, dude, I was surprised. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
As soon as Deontay was engaging with him, I was like, oh nah, don't do this. This is a bad mistake. You know you're not
Oh,
gonna
it was good.
outbox.
Nah, it
Yeah.
was good. Because you know what? I think on the last one, Pacino Ponche, he didn't want to talk to her because he felt like they were going to be biased. But on this one, they had the PVC girl. That's why he had his headphones off. Yeah, he respects her. Yeah. And I don't think he was going to talk to him, but he said, you know what? I'm going to pull it to him. And I think he was well prepared. He goes, okay. So you say, look how you change your team. And they go, but why you? How come you change your team? And Fury never answered the question. I was like, yo. I said, Wilder's coming back. And I was like,
and that's the thing too. When when Fury tried to set him up in a trap like he always does, you accuse me of cheating, this, that, and the third. And Wilder responded with a question, which I think he did right. He said, okay, why didn't you deny the allegations? You never denied it. Yeah. He's like, well, you're not answering the question. He's like, no, I'm asking you a question. Why didn't you deny the allegations? Other words, why didn't you take me to court? Why didn't you put a libel suit against me?
Yeah. I thought, like they like I was in the teacher. He said, "Oh, Wilder got burnt." I was like, "Nah, Fury got upset, man. He got worked." And Bob Arum was the one screaming, "No, no face off, no face off."
I know they were pissed off.
I think it was right though. I think it was right though because at this point it's COVID. Wilder was cool. Wilder was like, I can't, my Fury looked like he was rattled, man.
Yeah, I think Fury was pissed off, man. He was mad. He was mad. I think, dude, that's the first time I ever see Deontay Wilder get over Tyson Fury mentally.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting.
I told you he's gonna win, though. I told you that. Like, you can't really read anything. But I remember the last time Fury got over Wilder because Wilder underestimated him. I remember Wilder was talking shit, and then he walked to Fury. And Fury pushed Wilder across and he goes, you're a little man. And he done. But this time, he goes, you're insecure. Wilder goes, you can say what you want. I don't care. Like, I'm going to show you better than I can talk. And that's what I thought Wilder's whole approach was so mature. I said, you know what I mean? I think it was very mature. And I think if there was a battle right now, Wilder would have won. But
I was impressed, man. I was like, oh, dude, shit, he got old. I was like, God damn, I was really shocked, man. I know some people are gonna spin it. He said, no, Wilder didn't do anything. No, I was like, no, he got over Fury. Fury was riled the whole fucking time. While Deontay just sat there, was calm, and it's like, yeah, whatever, man. You can say what you want about me, but come Saturday night, you're gonna have to do the talking. Let your fist do the talking. All right, you're gonna see it different from me. I'm letting you know right now. So. But the thing is, too, I like for the first time in a while, I actually like the responses that Deontay had in that presser. I actually liked it. He handled himself very well. He wasn't rattled. He didn't let Fury get over him. Fury, on the other hand, Fury got pissed. He knew he couldn't get. That's why he was mad, because he couldn't get in him. He couldn't get in his head this time around. So, Big Boy is saying, I was disappointed that not to see JD's and take the mic and explain what he saw and didn't see in the locker room for the second fight. You know what? Let me say,
that would have been good. That would have been good, though.
That would have been good. That would have been good. But let me address that a little bit. I brought this up, and some people will argue no excuses. I'll say who it is. I was on Lady Shan's live stream a while ago, a long time. I want to say 3 months ago, when I brought this up, because why did JD's was there, so Wilder can't make no excuses to see the hand wraps and the gloving. I get that, but you do understand that the commission was there too. But when's the commission ever caught anybody? That's number one. Number two, JD's may not be experienced of what to look for in hand wraps, and obviously some of the people on the panel, including Lei Chan, so no excuses. I don't want to hear it. I was like, okay, fine, fair enough, but it is a fact. Maybe JD's is not experienced enough to see what should be in a hand wrap, what should not be in a hand wrap. He may not be experienced in that area. Those things can happen. There's always room for human error. Okay, like for example with the Gabriel Matre and the Michael Fox situation. Matre was gloved up, ready to go, and then when the referee looked at his glove to check it before the opening bell, he suspected there was irregular hand wrapping of the glove. And he wondered who the hell signed off on it. Guess what? The commission was in that room and they signed off on it, even though the wrapping of the glove was not proper. So anyhow, but the thing is, so that's what I wanted to address about the JD situation. If he addressed it, then it probably would have looked bad, because it'll look like he's incompetent. He doesn't know what to look for. And I would suspect that's what it was. But anyways, let me go down. BG London said that, hey, Fury got himself mad with all that ammo in the world. Big up to Wilder. Yep, I agree, BG London. Totally agree.
People have to call it what people have to call it 100, bro. I don't know what T-Shape was watching because all I saw is Fury spitting and saying this and that. But while that one was like, yeah, and Fury never answered the question. Goes, why you change your team then? If you gotta say I don't know what's going on, why you change your team? Because I remember again, I didn't like what Wilder was doing with the headphones and this, that, the other. I wasn't appreciating that. But this time he took it and I said, yeah, like a man, sit there, relax. Because the way it was coming off was weak, man. That was to me, he came across weak, but nah, he showed strength. He showed strength and maturity. And Fury was acting like a kid. And the funny thing is about who's gonna calm him down. Like if Fury's type of guy, if I don't think Javon Hill can calm him down when he's good when he's calm.
Right.
But like the way when he's angry like that, the only one can talk to him is his dad. You know what I mean? And his dad's not in the States. So he's out there he's out there venting. Mm-hmm. And Wilder said what he want to say and let him burn. He let him simmer. Because I'm a nun compared to your career. What are you talking about? That shit was bad. That was that was ether, man.
Speaking of that, though, I'm gonna ask your perspective on this one. Part of the reason why the ticket sales are not moving as big as they would hope for is mainly because the British are not allowed to travel into the country. So due to COVID restrictions.
Ain't that some bullshit? Listen. Let me say something. He got fans in the States. The tickets ain't traveling because people don't want to see the fight. And
that's true.
It's not being promoted. No one wants to see the third fight. I want to see it, but because Wilder's gonna get his belts back, and everyone's gonna be upset. What the WBC? You with WBC's already?
Yeah, they ordered the winner must fight Dillian White, or I know what they ordered. Yeah, I know. I was going to get to that. That's a weird order because they know Usyk is tied up with Joshua, but Mauricio Solomon. But to be fair, though, he did answer. He did give a good logical measured answer on that one. He said, "Look, we haven't received any notifications or contracts that fight's been signed. That second fight's been signed for Usyk and Joshua. So if they're able to work out something, whoever the winner is, or if they're able to work out something with Usyk within 30 days after the fight, then." So be it. If not, then we're going to call the mandatory. The winner must fight the winner of Dillian White.
But why are they getting involved for? Because hold on a minute, the WBC. Why are you getting involved in terms of what because you didn't do it when Wilder was there. So why are you? Why all of a sudden? How can the WBC ask to get involved? Because they want a payday, right? They see a payday because Anthony Joshua's out of the way. Usyk and Finn, they want to get involved, man. I mean, that's some bullshit. Because when Wilder had the belt, you never said that. So now Wilder Fury ain't got the belt, and now you're angling if Fury wins the belt to angle to give Fury a shot in the undisputed. That's disgusting. Because when Wilder was there and Wilder's blood, sweat, and tears, why didn't you say the WBC is pushing that AJ has to fight them? Why didn't that happen then? You know what I mean?
No. I get what you mean, but I think what it is that I think this is all stemming from the court ruling or the settlement that came out of the legal proceedings between the WBC and Dillian White. So I think they mutually agreed that whoever the winner of Fury and Wilder, if they're unsuccessful in negotiating for a unification bout with Usyk, then they must fight you. You are the mandatory. So Dillian's a mandatory right now. So he has been made mandatory. So but he is putting that on the line against Otto Wallin. He could lose that fight. So if he loses that,
he's gonna lose that fight. He's gonna lose that fight.
So
it's a hard fight. It's a very hard fight.
But me personally, I don't see Fury fighting Dillian White. I don't see it at all. If he wins on Saturday, I don't see him doing it. He's going to vacate that belt. But if he does go along with the fight, all props to him. But that's just my opinion. I think Wilder will more likely take that fight. He will do it.
Yeah, Wilder's a stand-up guy. The PC, the PBC, and everyone in investment. Fury gonna take a dirt nap. I've seen it already. I can see it already. He's already rattled. Because the thing is, the thing is, you gotta understand. The man Wilder believes that he was wronged, and everything he's saying he's standing on it. He believes it. Now, whether it's not true, it doesn't matter. He believes it, and the thing, everything in his soul is gonna push that. Now, he ain't the most technical, all that stuff, but Fury. I don't think Fury, after beating Wilder, he never wanted to fight. That's why the fight had to go to arbitration. He never wanted to fight Wilder.
Yeah, that's a one thing I would say. I wish Deontay would have thrown that back at him. He's like, dude, if I didn't want to get in the ring with you, why didn't you work so hard to get out of the fight that you obligated to agree to?
Yeah, he blocked him. He's trying to block him, so Fury has to sugar fight him again. And after I cheated and done my scams. Now whether he did or not, I don't know. That's between the camps. But Wilder believes he did. And and Fury didn't want to fight him. That's a fact. That's why he went to arbitration. Yeah, they were trying to get AJ fight and lock Fury and lock Wilder out. Now Wilder's about to get his belts back, man. And when he gets his belts back, Fury ain't never, ever getting a shot at Wilder again. The WBC will make it clear that, bruh, listen, I gave him a voluntary. It was a voluntary. He wasn't even in my ranking. So the WBC might say, well, Fury, you got to fight somebody. Because, bruv, it's like, yo, the WBC might want Fury to win. But Wilder, because it's harder to make the fight between Usyk, maybe not Usyk, but AJ, Eddie Hearn don't want that fight. So that's what
I think, speaking of that, I think it'd be best if they just move on from Usyk. I just don't see them winning that fight. I think AJ needs more time to heal. I think he needs more time to, he needs to rejuvenate. He needs to become a different fighter. You know what I mean?
There's not wrong with AJ, man. AJ, I think there was a rematch. I think there was a rematch clause. So
there's a rematch clause. What I'm saying
is that there was a rematch clause to make AJ lose weight in the first one. They told AJ you can't come in above certain amount. That's what I think.
There was no catch weight. Come on, man.
Yeah, there was. Bro. Yeah, because I reckon they said, AJ, you can't come in a certain amount.
I don't know about that because AJ weighed the same weight in the last 3 fights. So how does that make any sense?
I reckon they paid AJ another 50 mil to make sure there's a catch weight in there. I reckon they did. Because remember again, there's money that you offer, but there's money underneath the table. So they said, AJ, look, we'll pay you another 20 mil if you don't come in a certain weight. So that could have happened. That could have happened. The Russians.
Yeah, let me go back to this JD situation. Big Boy says, well, so if that's the case, without that experience, it is a mistake to put JD's in the opponent's locker room for starters. Yeah, fair point. I think this time around, I don't think he'll be in there. I think it'll be Malik Scott who's going to be going there and looking at the gloving and the hand wraps. I think he's going to be in there. I think Don House is going to. Well, actually, no, Don House does the hand wraps, so he'll handle the hand wraps for Wilder. But as far as Malik Scott's concerned, he'll be the one who'll be keeping an eye on Fury's taking gloving and the hand wrapping and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think JD's is going to be there. I mean, he may be there just to observe, but he's not going to be the guy to be the primary overseer. That's the way I see it. Terrence says, low key, I thought Malik planted those psychological seeds in the first presser. I think he did. I think Malik gave him a pep talk and told him this is how you go at Fury. You don't want to match his energy level. Don't do that, because if you do that, he's got over you. So what you need to do is be calm, address him like you're talking to me in a cordial manner. Because if you do that, he doesn't see that anger and the fire out of you, he's going to get upset.
Yeah, he did. I think they said, I think they brought a psychologist and they said, talk to him as you're talking to one of your young kids.
Right.
He talked to him like a little boy. Like, calm down.
Calm down, man. We're gonna fight. Relax.
Yeah. That shit was funny. Like, the thing is, if there was a strike now with the LDBC channels, they'd be like, their flags like Wilder's won already, but we gotta fight. And hey, what's this about Wilder? What's this about Thingy's weight, bro?
Who?
Fury's weight. What are you saying about Fury's weight? What are you hearing about?
There's rumor mill that he's currently at 285, close to 290. I mean, he didn't look like that in the presser, but who knows? Because he didn't look like he was 275 before the weigh-in on the second fight. So who knows? But if he's at 290, man, I think that's going to be a little detrimental to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I still believe he's not quite in the shape that he was for the second fight or the first fight, by that matter. So I think there's some issues there with him. In my view, I don't know. What's your take on it?
I don't care, to be fair, because they're heavyweight, so I don't really care I don't really pay too much in that. Fury knows what to do, but I think he's old though, man. I think his style and everything. He said all the right things, but he said all the right things. But the bottom line is he didn't want the fight. Like right now, I would have to be nuts. This can't okay. Tyson Fury done an interview. What's he saying? Hold on, let me play this straight. 1 second.
All right, cool.
It's not gonna get a strike on that, so I won't.
All right, yeah. Be careful with that.
Here we go. Tyson Fury. What's he saying? This is before. This is after. Okay. If he's upset, see, he's heated.
Oh, he's heated.
What did you make of that press conference as someone who didn't really want to say a lot? He had a lot to say in the end, Deontay.
Yeah, I drawn him into it, didn't I? Started off nice and steady, and he wasn't coming here to talk today. He got in a little bit nice at the beginning.
Sorry, Tyson, you did not win that exchange as you thought you did.
Right, man, sweating, Why he's sweating? Yo, he looks stressed. Let me hear some more.
At the end of, he's going to do face off and he ran away. So
no,
it's like
that's a lie. Bob Arum said there's no face off. How did he run away? Bob Arum said there was no face off. Why is he lying for?
Yeah, that's definitely a lie right there. Bob Arum didn't want that face off.
Yeah, Tyson wanted it, and then Wilder said, "All right, cool," and Wilder cut out.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Bob Arum and Frank Warren were literally screaming for that face-off not to take place.
Oh, see?
I don't know.
See? Exactly. See? Coogan's telling him the truth.
Might have said to you why.
Yeah, because Frank Warren thinking I was going to chin him. I wouldn't have chinned him. I just knotted the cup like that.
Oh, so
huh?
So they think. So if that's the case, they think you're rattled, bruh. They think you lost it.
they were scared. I think maybe they worried about COVID. I don't know what the fuck, man.
Man.
I think they were right though. Because like real talk, like Wilder would have did it though. But I think they're scared. Frank Warren and Bob Arum, man, the money is gone, bro. But Wilder's gonna do. Let me hear what he's gonna say anyway.
Yeah.
Don't carry any power.
I knocked him out, so
he didn't knock him out. He was on his feet. Mark Breland threw the towel. He got knocked down a couple of times, but he wasn't knocked out. He got stopped on his feet by Mark Breland throwing the towel in. That's not knocked out, is it? In the ruling, it's a technical knockout, but he didn't really. He was on his feet, like so,
yeah.
You know? Let me play some more.
Obviously deluded, isn't he?
On countless times you tried to ask Jay Diaz to come up and kind of explain him being in the dressing room, but you didn't kind of get the response or answers that you wanted.
They can't answer me. Jay Diaz was smiling under his mask. He can't answer because it's all rubbish, all lies. And that's it, but it's all unimportant anyway. Because on the fight night Saturday, he's going to get found out again. And like he said, he's all about legacy. Well, his legacy's in bits.
Yeah.
His legacy's in pieces. He's been battered by me twice, and he's going to get done in again for a third time.
He sounds nervous to me.
He's living in the past.
Just feed it past the line.
Oh, well. Sorry, Sugar.
We got it.
Were you listening to Malik Scott of how he feels he's improved? Deontay Wilder?
I don't get it because I only won because I cheated. But then he's done all this improving and extra training to make sure he wins the second fight. Because, well, if I only win because I cheated, if you stop me from cheating, then you should be all right, right? Not rocket science, is it? It's just
I don't know what kind of questions he's asking. Like, Dan, can you explain? I don't understand what he said.
Yeah, I don't know what Coogan is doing, but I mean, my point is that the energy, the reaction, Tyson Fury seems to, I don't know. It just seems he's nervous. He's riled up, and that to me is just shown. That's the first time I've seen his guy who's always to be the master manipulator when it comes to mind games and the mental games. He seems he lost that one, and he probably knows in his mind he lost it. So. He's trying to convince himself, no, I got over Wilder. No, you didn't, man. You didn't get over him. You know it, and I know you didn't. But anyways, let me. I know Terrence just jumped in the chat, but let me read Big Boy's comment real quickly here. He says, "I don't see either guy, Wilder or Fury, fight Usyk if they win. Both guys would make more money fighting Joshua without the belts. Plus, there's a higher risk." I mean, that is a good point because Usyk is a definitely. I'm not saying he's a low risk, high reward. I mean, you probably will make some good money fighting him, but if you kind of trying to compare apples and oranges, definitely Joshua will be the fight you would take if you're either one of them. It's a lesser risk compared to Usyk. I hate to say that, but at the same time, it is heavyweight division. Anybody can get knocked out. Joshua still has that great puncher's chance. He does have some of those technical abilities and physical attributes, but you can argue that he's on the slide now. So to your point, yeah, I would somewhat disagree with that. I mean, not disagree. I agree with that to an extent. The second fight was a mandatory fight. Fury was a mandatory. Yeah, that is true. He was put in a mandatory position for the second fight. So what's up, Terrence? How you doing, man?
All good, Dan. What's up, EJ too? And yeah, man, like this press conference, it really eats up Fury inside that he's not really in control of a lot of things that he thinks he is in, because he was pretty pissed off at Bob, like a lot pissed off that he didn't have no control over the face-off. And the fact that JD's didn't even come up there, you already know that already set him off very quickly, because that was probably the best thing that Team Wilder did, didn't bring him up there, because that would have just, boosted Fury's confidence even by a little bit. But that slight chance that you took away from Fury turned into a whole negative for him, you know what I mean? Because you already know how it is, man, because Fury, like y'all just like said it right now, that if you let him have control over like all this energy and stuff, then that means, you know,
Yeah, Are you there, Terrence?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to that point, that usually when Fury wins the psychological game, that usually translates into the fight. He always comes out on top, kind of like how Muhammad Ali used to do that to all of his opponents over his career. But in this situation, this is the first time again in a long while. I don't think who was the last guy to kind of get over him. I mentioned Vladimir Klitschko, like in the first presser where Fury was riled up, and then after those, then pressers, two other pressers after that, Fury got the best over Klitschko. So. For their first fight, that is. But yeah, I don't know, man. Not just the him being riled up, he seemed a little twitchy and nervous up on that stage. That's just my view. And I'm saying, okay, something ain't right here with Fury. Is he okay? Something ain't right here. But I don't know. That's just me looking from the outside in. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see this go down on Saturday. I kind of find it funny now that after when the fight first got announced, after the whole fallout with Fury and Joshua, people didn't want to see it. They didn't want to be bothered by it, which I understand. And then when Joshua loses, then all of a sudden everybody put their attention to this fight. Quite interesting.
Yeah, it really told us a lot about other fans too, like how they perceive psychology and stuff. And I saw a lot of people in these chats saying that Fury won, and I'm like, what are they looking at? You know what I mean? Like, it's like that kid that really believes he won an argument with his dad or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's like, dude, I will admit to you, Tyson Fury won the first two, the mind games of the first two fights. I'll admit that to you as a Wilder fan. But in this situation, I got to call a spade a spade. Wilder got over him this time around. I know you guys don't want to hear that, because if that's the case, why did Tyson Fury act so angrily, not Deontay Wilder? You tell me who won the mind games over who in that situation. Wilder addressed him very cordially, well-mannered, and Fury didn't like that. He tried to get him to match his energy level, his level of argument, and Wilder didn't want to be goaded into that situation. So, smart move by Wilder. He got to him. So, it is what it is, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I still got Fury by like split decision, even though that's an unpopular prediction. But I don't know, man. Like this might actually make me swing towards Wilder a little bit, but I'm still standing on the Fury pick.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm still on the fence on that. I'm still standing by the Fury pick, but dude, my chances of Fury winning against Wilder has kind of decreased a little bit after what I saw today. So
yeah, because like Fury relies on psychology, like for 90% of its fights. When you think about it, because that's what he does. That's his game. Like he always tries to rile up everybody, or like he makes everybody fall into the aura of this is the Fury show. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, that's exactly. I totally agree with that, man. But yeah, I'm still going to favor Fury to win by decision. But dude, I don't know, man. This is getting more interesting, man, by the minute, man. And I mean, as the days go by, I expect those odds to decrease a little bit. Maybe Fury's going to go into the fight as a 2-1 favorite instead of a 3-1 favorite right now. So I expect that to happen. So as the fight gets closer, so we'll see, man. Big Boy says if Fury's in denial about winning the presser, and just like Wilder was in denial about the second fight. Yeah, that's a fair point. I agree with that. Totally agree. Both men are now in denial in this situation. So yeah, I totally agree there, man. But real quickly, man, I know EJ just hopped out because I was gonna get off pretty soon. But let me ask you this, man. What's your thoughts on the Kambosos and Lopez situation? Matchroom has now been awarded the fight. Triller's defaulted, so the IBF has given Matchroom the fight because they came in second when it came to the bidding for that fight. What's your thoughts?
Man, Teofimo Lopez put himself in a whole mess. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be real hard for him to get out of. But hey, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I mean, like it's politics. I mean, I'm just glad that this fight is still happening. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of like tired of it. Like saying that it's going to happen in the summer, in the fall. We're already like in the second season where this fight didn't even happen at all,
Yeah, I mean, this is a mandatory fight, for God's sakes. I mean, George Kambosos, no disrespect to George Kambosos. I think he's a good, he's got fundamentals, he's got skills. But obviously I'm not saying, I hate to say it. I guess it is a foregone conclusion type of fight because I just don't see how he could beat Teofimo Lopez, because Lopez is too big, he's too strong, he's got the reflexes, he's got the speed, the footwork is okay. I guess what's going for Kambosos, I will say this though, I think he's a little bit lighter on his foot compared to Lopez, so I think he could use his movement to try to beat him. But other than that, yeah, as far as strength and speed, nah, he can't match Teofimo in that area. I just
Yeah, you
don't
need
see.
like a Devin Haney or somebody to match that athleticism,
Yeah.
or even more than that, because Devin Haney to me has better athleticism than Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Of course, the difference between the two is the power gap because Devin Haney, I
Yeah,
hate to say, he doesn't have no pop in his punches. So, but he does have the athleticism. He does have the good boxing skills. So I do give him that. So yeah, man, I just wanted to try and get my 2 cents on that Wilder presser. But did you want to add anything before I head out?
oh no, just like wanted to chime in on this because this press conference, man, was crazy. I thought there was going to be a face-off, but I'm guessing Bob, Frank, because I saw Frank yelling in there too, like up at the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
yeah,
were like, no, fuck you. They were like, no, face off, forget that, we're out. I don't know
yeah,
what
because
I
like
mean. I don't know what that was about. Maybe because they knew
I
Tyson was
think it
so
was
mad.
because of Canelo Plant. They had flashbacks of that and the thought of them like pushing the fight back already and them
Yeah,
just wanting to get this over with. I think that's
right.
what it was.
That's a good point. I think they were probably concerned about that, and given the fact that Tyson Fury was mad as he was, and Wilder will be defending himself, so it could have been possible that both men were going to come to blows if they did a
Yeah,
face
I
off.
think
So
Wilder probably would have dropped him right there.
true. Yeah, we
Damn.
can't. We gotta wait till Saturday. Throw punches on Saturday. That's when you guys get paid. All right. But yeah, I also forgot to mention too. Bob Aaron took some questions afterwards, and he yelled at Mike Coppinger, cussed him out, and told him to get him out. He didn't want.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot what the question was, but Bob Aaron was like, "Fuck you! Don't ask me that fucking question. Get out of here. Get him out of here." Like, Mike Coppinger hasn't been favorable to Top Rank in last year or two because he's been accused of being a Matchroom shill for putting out information, coming from Matchroom. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. The video is up. It's on IFL's channel. You can take a look at it, or they're gonna splice it up and and they're probably gonna put a little segment that he kicked him out of the questioning, the media questioning.
Yeah, they're probably gonna chop that up.
Yeah, but hey, Big Boy says that I'm hoping Triller gets banned for participating in any more purse bids. You know what? I mentioned earlier it is for the best because look, Ryan Kavanaugh, who's the guy who's kind of like the founder of the app, of the program, of the Fight Club program with Triller. Look, I know they're riding off the success of their first event with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. I get that they did very phenomenal in that event, but after that, it's been a cluster. It's been a clown show, man. It's been a clusterfuck after that. They just don't know what they're doing. I don't know who's the leadership on scheduling these events for Triller, but I think at this point, man, I'm not saying they should get out because they're new, they're learning the ropes on how to stage boxing events together. I get that. I think that they need to restructure. They need to get somebody in there who actually understand the process, who has experience of putting on boxing events, organizing these events when it comes to purse bids, going over fighter purses, going over conditions of drafting contracts together to get these fights done. You know what I
And
mean?
the
Going over
zone
the
is still having issues with that too, and it's been out there for like 3 years, and I had to unsub from it because of the lack of fights and the bad production and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and I said this too when they first launched. I was like, hey, look, if people call me a hater, and I was like, hey, look, $9.99, great. I sub for that too. But at the same time, how could they sustain it? Because you got Canelo Alvarez, that's great, but majority of the Canelo fans are going to just sub for his, just only going to sub one time for his fight, and they're going to cut it off for the next 6 months. So all they're going to do is pay $20 for the whole year. And they're giving him in like $35 million per fight guaranteed, and they're giving Gennady Golovkin $15 million per fight guaranteed from what has been reported. Giving Mikey Garcia $7 million for a one-off fight against Jesse Vargas. What were they doing? I'm like, dude, you guys just wasting money. And you're not getting a good return on investment. How many subscribers are you getting out of this deal? And they don't release their numbers. And of course, they don't have to because they're a private company. So they don't have to present a balance sheet or anything like that. But I just thought, look, this model's not going to work because they're saying that we're going to kill pay-per-view. Great, but how are you going to sustain the subscribers based off the pricing that you have? Your top guy, Canelo, doesn't fight consistently. He only fights twice a year. So how are you going to sustain that? You
And
know,
who knows if he's gonna come back within the next couple fights? He could end up staying there, like fighting on the fight basis with like David Benavidez and Charlo and stuff.
you know what? There was some rumors or reporting that Canelo may consider that. So, you know, the
Or
zone
even a
has.
plant rematch, because you can't rule that outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, the Zone USA, man, they need to. I think they're gonna have to go through another restructuring process. I hate to say it, man. And Eddie Hearn, look, I have been critical of Eddie Hearn, but I did believe it was great for him to come over here to kind of shake things up, so that way you could get the other, promoters like the PBC promoters and top ranked promoters and even Golden Boy to get on that, get it together, start making get the cross promotional fights going like it was back in the old days. So Eddie Hearn did kind of put some competition into that. So now that he's kind of been stagnated here in the States, I know he's got the Demetrius Andre event coming up in Providence, but he's fighting Jason Quigley of all people. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, I think the Zone. I mean, they're not in a bad position like Trilla is, but yeah, the Zone wastes a lot of money. Not there's been a issue with Gennady Golovkin with his contract situation. They try to get him. I think they did restructure his contract, but he's been holding out because he want to take certain fights and get paid $10+ million for it. And the Zone is telling him, no, you can't do that. We're not going to pay you $10-12 million a fight another Germenta. We're not going to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, man, they wanted him to fight Andre, and they barely even let him pass with this Murata fight.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, because they looked at it as okay, he's got a belt, Murata's a gold medalist. Okay, maybe we could sell that. But he's in Japan though, so how are you gonna make money off of that fight?
Exactly.
I mean, Gennady Golovkin is wasted. I mean, I don't think he cares anymore. He's like, dude, I'm nearly 40 years old. I'm not gonna take these risky fights anymore. I don't have to do that. So I think me personally, I think speaking of Golovkin, I think he's going to retire after the Murata fight because we all know he's not getting Canelo fight. I mean, if he goes to 168, but even if he does that, he's a dead man in that weight class. So I'm just being real, not metaphorically speaking. But anyways, let me go ahead and wrap this up, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that was a good show, man. Good show.
I appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Take care. All right, chat. That wraps it up. I want to thank everybody for joining. Big boys as always. Terrence, BG London, Amir. I know you was gonna hop on, but I gotta get going, man. I apologize, EJ. But other than that, I'm out, guys. Peace.